हेलो हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, ऑल ओवर द इंडिया फ्रॉम कन्याकुमारी टू कश्मीर. टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट द स्केलर एंड वेक्टर. आज का लेक्चर. ओके देन, आई वेलकम ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द इंडिया. डॉक्टर मोहन सर, फिजिक्स फैकल्टी फ्रॉम हैदराबाद. आई एम डिस्कसिंग अबाउट स्केलर एंड वेक्टर. Scalar and vector. Scalar, a physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. A physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. That quantity we are expressing it as a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity मतलब तो क्या है? Any quantity. A quantity, a physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. There is no direction for that physical quantity. That quantity I am calling it as a scalar quantity. Now if you come to the vector quantity, a physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction. And direction also. Here we are calling it as a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. For example, I can say one example here. So if you take a train is going at a speed of, a train is going at a speed of, you can take the speed of the train is 40 kilometers per hour towards east direction. 40 kilometers towards east direction. 40 kilometers per hour in east direction. That means it is covering a distance of, distance of per 1 hour 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers per hour, you say that. Towards east direction. There is a specific direction is there. It is going to Bombay or it is going to some other place. Direction is mentioned. If the speed of that body has particular direction, we are calling it as a vector quantity. Now let us see here one more. The speed of a train. Here it is going with 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometers in 1 hour. But I am not mentioning any direction here. The train is going, that's all. Somewhere it is going. I am not mentioning any direction to the train. Then that physical quantity, the speed of that quantity, the speed of the train, we are expressing it in terms of a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means it has only magnitude. The meaning of the magnitude is some number. It is going with some speed. With some speed. Here I am saying that with the speed it has some specific direction is there. So a speed with a specific direction, I am calling it as a velocity. The train has a velocity 40 kilometers per hour towards east direction. Then the speed of the train, here it is in the scalar quantity, it is going with a speed of 40 kilometers but no direction. So that we are expressing in terms of a magnitude. Here with the magnitude and direction. Here what is the magnitude here? The magnitude I am taking it as magnitude is considered as 40 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour 40 kilometers. Direction, here I am taking the direction. Direction is east direction. Here magnitude is what? Magnitude is I consider as 40 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour 40 kilometers. But direction, there is no direction. Direction is not mentioned. So when there is no direction, we say this quantity as physical quantity is called as scalar, and this one is called as a vector. Vector, both magnitude and direction. Scalar, you take the scale and beat the children if they are talking in the class. Scale means only one weapon you have in the hand. One. Only magnitude. Scalar. Yes, you are taking one weapon like scalar, going on having only magnitudes. Number of times how many you are beating on the hand. Okay, that is called as scalar quantity. It has only magnitude but no direction, and it has both magnitude and direction. General representation of a vector. Vectors are being represented by you can see how these vector quantities are represented by an arrow. You take one arrow and represent the vector. Now if you take the vectors, vector is represented by an arrow. There is one arrow, it has one tail and one head. One head is there here, one head and tail. This head gives about the direction, it is showing some direction. And if you take one point O to the point A, this is the length. This is the length. So the length of the vector is called the magnitude of the vector. The length of the vector is called the magnitude of the vector. So the length we are calling it as magnitude, and with the magnitude we are calling it as there is some direction is also mentioned with the help of a head. So tail to head is taken as a length, that is O to A. So the representation of a vector. So vector can be represented. We are representing the vector represented with an arrow from O to A. With an arrow. There is one arrow on the top of that vector O to A. O is the initial point and A is the final point. So the length of the vector is described with an initial point. So this is the initial point. We are taking the initial point, starting point. And this is the point where A is being observed. This is being considered as the final point. Final point. So final point. That means every vector has an initial point and a final point. Then the length of the vector with direction, we can express it as O to A. Representation O to A. On the top of that O to A, we are calling it as with an arrow mark. The arrow mark showing some symbol, arrow mark symbol. It should be pointing towards other side. You see that it is not in the reverse direction. It should be expressed in this direction. So it is the representation of a vector. Any quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Magnitude is length of the vector. Length of the vector is called as a magnitude. It has different meanings. Magnitude. Sometimes we may take positive magnitude, negative magnitude. Sometimes we may take in terms of size. Smaller size, bigger size. Sometimes we may take the greatness. It has a lot of greatness. We can say that the person has a great magnitude. Okay, that means it is his greatness. Yes, it is in a big size, small size, left side, right side, positive, negative. We are considering it as the magnitude. So the magnitude of the vector can be represented with terms of a number, 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometers per hour is the magnitude of that vector. And it has a direction, means it comes under vector quantity, both magnitude and direction. Okay children? Okay now. So we will discuss more in details how the types of vectors, how many types of vectors are there, and what is a unit vector. That is the most important topic for us. Okay, even this, just please make a note of it about this small information, and you can remember them, how the magnitude and direction can be expressed for a scalar and vector. Okay, nice day.